Today we are taking Coco for a ride.
I think this is 95. It's absolutely huge. Look at this thing. Oh my God. So one of the things we've been dying to test with our new dinghy is if our little 5-horse motor will get it up on a plane like it did with our old Porta-Boat. So now that we're not near any marinas and stuff, we're gonna give it a try. We'll see. This boat's a little bit heavier, but it's also more drag in the water. And normally when you upgrade to a rib, you need to upgrade the motor as well. And we probably will get a larger motor eventually, but we kind of want to see what this one can do first. That is a narrow canal. You ready? Let's do it. Though. Not bad for a little 5-horse. We're not quite on a plane though, we're plowing for sure. Selfie stick of life. You ready to start going straight again? I'm getting dizzy.
Straight.
How's the new dinghy so far?
I like it. I like the fact that I don't have to sit on something hard.
I think we're supposed to be going that way. What the hell is that thing? Looks like someone took 2 longboards, strapped a launcher between it, and threw an outboard off the back.
Should
Cool.
Tripod.
Yeah, first legit dinghy adventure. How's it going so far?
Good. So we're on a mission today. We decided that we're going to circumnavigate Fort Lauderdale with the dinghy because as we looked at the canal map, it's totally possible. So, all right, let's talk about our plans for today. Oh, that moved. It went boop.
Let's try that again. So, round 2. We are sitting at the dock at our friend's house, waiting for a few things to get mailed in. We're doing a couple of last-minute projects, trying to get our boat put back into sailing condition after such a massive renovation. And we desperately needed an adventure. And
so we decided to take Coco for a ride today.
Yeah, we left our friend's house and we headed up the New River and then went through a couple of marinas and canals and stuff. And now we're kind of down by the airport somewhere and figured we'd take this little opportunity to get off the boat and take a break from the motor and chat with you guys about
dinghies in general.
And why we switched from our Porta-Boat to a rib.
So
is that what we're going to talk about here?
How far are we from where we started? We're like, what, 7 miles or so, right?
We're probably about 6 miles from where we started on a 17 nautical mile loop.
Determination.
Determination. We also haven't gotten out to test our new dinghy since she showed up on our boat with our old 5-horse. So today was a good chance to just get out and see. We tried to get up on a plane with the 2 of us and it wouldn't quite do it. And that's kind of the main reason we upgraded to a rib, is because we want to be able to get us 2 plus gear or water up on a plane and get back to the boat, or 3 or 4 people when people come over to visit us, and we go sailing with friends and patrons and stuff, we'll be able to actually go explore places. And we couldn't do that with our Porta-Boat. You could barely put 3 people in it, 3 adults, and if you put 4, it was terrifying. Only in super calm water could you ever attempt to put 4 people in it. And it would be nice to truly be all off-grid, all electric, but the problem is, to get our dinghy up on a plane with 4 people, you need the Torqeedo makes an electric motor that will do it, but you need almost as many batteries in the dinghy as we have in our sailboat. So it's kind of impractical for anything more than like 30 minutes of dinghy ride. For us, like, we love having an electric sailboat. It makes sense on a sailboat because we have sails that take us everywhere, and the electric motor is just for a tiny little bit. But on a dinghy, for what we want a dinghy for and what we plan on using a dinghy for, it doesn't really make sense. For people who are just going from anchor to the dock or to the beach, like in the Caribbean, that would be totally fine. We'll get into some of the details about why we switched to a rib, particularly this one, later on. Maybe we'll stop and get some lunch in Fort Lauderdale and chat about that. But in the meantime, you want to get back in the boat and go get some gas?
Yeah, let's go.
Cool.
Easier to get down.
Hello.
Hi. I like how they all look at the water and look at us like, damn it, we can't jump.
So right behind us are landing lights, and the Fort Lauderdale airport is like right here, which means very soon an airplane is probably going to come screaming over our heads, which is going to be awesome. Are you excited?
Yeah. Holy! That was a small plane though. That was so cool. I think we should keep going now.
All right.
Onward. We need gas, so let's go to Just Gas.
Onward! Wait, no. That way.
That way. So there's an abandoned marina here, theoretically. We're gonna go check it out.
Yeah, so there's like a full marina in here that we saw on Google Maps, and there's no boats in it, there's no buildings, there's no infrastructure, it's just the docks. Look, they keep going that way too.
Oh my god, it's a big marina.
Dude.
It's a perfectly fine marina. Somebody must have built it and couldn't afford to keep it up or something.
Finish it maybe, like they went bankrupt?
Maybe.
It's really, like, everything's in. Look, they even have like the little, for the power and water and the cleats.
I wonder if the fact that the airport is so close is one of the reasons why this marina didn't take. Do you wanna play with the dinghy a little bit here?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Okay.
This is gonna be fun.
Well, how was it with just you?
It's fun. It goes fast. Imagine how fast it would go with a 15 horse. Be like a jet. Let's go. Do you want to drive?
Sure. I can get up on a plane by myself. I've done that before, yeah. Come on, Betsy! It's just not quite enough to get us both up there. We got pretty much the same speed, not trying to plow through the water because we can't quite get up on a plane with the two of us. So, I mean, we're doing like 4.5 knots, 5 knots, just kind of idling like this. So it uses a lot less fuel when we can get there. We've used like probably a liter of fuel to go 7 miles, which isn't bad at all. We'll be able to do that, like plain like Coco was doing, with 4 people in the dinghy, so we can actually go diving, go free diving, go exploring in the mangroves and stuff like that. That's what we're excited for. Since we bought that 5 horsepower dinghy motor in Grenada, I think this might be the 3rd time we've filled up this tank. We filled it up once when we first got it, and then we filled it up again in Colombia, and then I think once in Mexico.
In Guatemala.
Oh, in Guatemala we filled it up twice. That's true. We did a lot of dinghy work in Guatemala. So 5 times in a year and a half.
And now it's a 3-gallon tank.
3-gallon tank. So we've used 15 gallons of gasoline in a year and a half on that dinghy. That's pretty cool.
Well, not on that dinghy, but on
with that motor. I
Yeah.
can go get some ice cream and some drinks. Cheers to halfway. Worth it?
Yeah. That is a big boat.
Well, we're not going much faster than when we came in with Uma. There's still like a 2 or 3 knot current coming out, so we're doing like 3 knots up.
One thing that I'm going to say, comparing this to Dory, this is so much more comfortable. Oh, don't hit the dog. This is so much more comfortable than the old dinghy because it's bouncy, it's comfy, and the only thing is vibrating a little bit, but
that's because we have a single cylinder 2-stroke.
But I don't mind it.
Cheers to circumnavigating Fort Lauderdale.
We finally found a place to eat.
We're only about 3 miles from home, and there's this lovely little restaurant right on the New River. I think 17 miles in a sailboat's different because you're kind of relaxing and it's quiet and you got breeze and the ocean. But 17 miles on a dinghy is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, but we needed to test out the dinghy.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It's so much more comfortable, and I don't know, there's something, for instance, the wakes, like usually on Dory when there's wakes, I get nervous because I don't know if water's gonna come in, but on this dinghy, we had waves, we had current versus wind waves coming when we were going down under the bridge, and I didn't really care. It was completely comfortable.
There were things with Dory that we could fix, like the leaking transom thing, and the transom was starting to crack, seats we needed to upgrade again, like those things we could fix. But there's certain things that Porta-Boats just can't do that we have now learned that we need to do with our dinghy. One of which is to be able to get 4 people on board. We just couldn't do that with Dory. You know, we would almost sink the boat, and you'd be going so slow that a little bit of wake would come in. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And also, like when we were in Saba, we were trying to row against, it wasn't even that bad. It was maybe 15 to 20 knots of wind, but the chop that it was creating was enough that when I was rowing and Key was in the back, the bow was going underwater and waves were coming in. And we actually had to get rescued by the dive boat, the salvage divers that were there. So that was another thing. But yeah, getting 4 people in, you know, going against some pretty steep waves we just couldn't do in Dory. Porta-Boats seem to be really great for small motors to go, you know, from your boat to shore in a protected anchorage or row to shore. They seem to be great for that. But that's pretty limiting when it comes to dinghies.
And also, we can't get a bigger dinghy than an 8-foot because it just doesn't fit on our boat.
Porta-Boat makes a 12-foot, and then you can get a slightly bigger motor. There's no way we can put a 12-foot boat on our bow. It's just way too long and heavy, and kind of defeats the purpose. People use them as tenders on sailboats, especially because they fold down. You can strap them on deck, and that's really good. It was nice during Hurricane Matthew to just put the whole dinghy inside the boat, or to strap it flat on deck. But it's more of like a backup dinghy, I would say, because in rough, choppy conditions, there's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And also, like with this rib, if the entire thing gets swamped, the pontoons will keep it floating enough that the motor will still be out of the water, and like while you bail, you can continue to motor. If that happened to Dory, if we took on too much water, it just would have sunk.
Sinks.
Like there's just even like the little bit of flotation that comes with Porta-Boats is only to keep the boat from sinking. But if you're in it and an outboard, it will sink. It's not enough flotation to keep everything out of the water. I mean, she came with the boat. We got it for free, so it was nice to have. It worked for 3 years, and it was a perfectly fine tender, but we're ready to sort of like explore more, upgrade more, bring more people on board. And now that we've done this little test, we know we need a bigger outboard too. I think we'll probably push for a 10 horse or a 15 horse depending on the weight, and then we'll be able to like really get up and go. And it'll be better if we ever do need to like hip tow Uma again like we have before with our dinghy. It'll actually push us a little bit better. Yeah.
There are pros and cons about having an inflatable as well.
Yeah.
Like the Porta-Boat is built so strong. It's basically indestructible.
We love being able to just like beach it up on a reef or rocks and just like drag it up and over big boulders, and it was so light we could just throw it around.
With this inflatable, we'll have to be a little more careful, but it also has an aluminum hull, so that's something too. I'm excited to have more adventures with Coco.
I'm excited to go to like the Bahamas and have adventures with Coco.
Yes. Well guys, that's probably all that we need to talk about for this episode. We're gonna call it a day. Our boat is literally around the corner, so there's not much else to video. We're just gonna finish this beer, and we're going to show you a really cool time lapse. Cheers.
Cheers for circumnavigating Fort Lauderdale.